Hello and welcome to some Satisfactory. My name's Trismegistus, and it's a bank holiday, and I was having some trouble with my Steam Deck because I don't seem to be able to log in. So I figured I might as well go live. A bit early, not too much early, but as I've been quite busy today. But excuse me, been messing about with the emoticons, which I'm going to see if I can test. I don't know if I can actually do that, but let's see. No, does that not work? No, don't look like they've done it yet. You have to get them approved, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense when you think about it, but um, I have absolutely no idea how long that'll take. I mean, they didn't even. I had a video that had a completely false audio claim on it, as in the audio that was supposedly there wasn't there, and sent it for review, and basically the video's gone from Twitch before they've even reviewed it. So it shows you how much care and attention they pay to the appeal system. So today, rather than moaning about all of that, I've been working away on the roads. We started this last stream, but I've kind of been refining it. I made a particular discovery, which was that, well, I made two discoveries, I guess, which was that if we go up and down, so what I was planning at the end of last stream was to do this, basically, on the edges. I've not quite done it properly. I think we're going to go with black, because it suits the, whoops, I just coloured in the minor there. I'm going to colour the minors according to what they've got in them. Why is that not? There we go. And that one there's mist as well. Yes, just black for consistency, really, and because it's asphalt, so it looks quite good in black. But I was thinking about doing this, and I've been working away on it, and then I discovered that if you do angles, these things don't follow the angles. Elevation, not angle. So you can't get these to go at the angle. So it does this weird sticky out thing. Now, the reason that was particularly weird was because if you do any of the other railings, they match the angle. But the block doesn't, the road barrier. Which I guess sort of makes sense in a sense, in that, you know, it's a concrete barrier, it's not going to be produced at an angle. But in real life, it would sit at an angle, wouldn't it? It would lean over. So it wouldn't, it would do that. But then it would follow the contour. You know, you would put one there and it would be at an angle. But you can't do that. So what I've decided to do instead is make sure that the entire road is at the same level. But I'm using this here to give it so this won't have barriers on it and stuff, but I'm using this as a sort of not really a platform, a sort of a ramp, basically. And we'll have one of these wherever I do a connection. And it's quite simple because there's like one piece like that, and then it's three. So it's three flat ones, 3 1 metre angles, 3 2 metre angles, and then we're into the road level. And then all of this road level is going to be at the same level. The other thing I worked out, and I didn't work it out, I obviously watched a video. I watched several videos because I could not work it out. It makes sense when you really think it through. But I worked out how to do, let's say, based on the videos, how to do angles, basically proper curves. Now, I'm not sure, because obviously we can put these patterns on. Did I actually go and get the ink? For some reason you have to do ink with these. Now, which one was I going to do? Was it going to be... Oh, what? That's interesting. That puts it in black. That looks quite funky, doesn't it? But it's going to be one way all the way, so it sort of doesn't matter, about doing that type of thing. Oh, that does look quite good, because we could do both of them. So which one's a good one to demonstrate it with, I guess? Probably this centre dotted line, although I say it's probably not what it would be. But it's alright when it's straight. When it gets the angle, you get the Z buffer, Z height argument, basically, because the two pieces are trying to sit at the same height but overlapping. And it actually looks okay, I think, because it doesn't if you use particularly if you use this asphalt stuff, I don't know if you can see it flickering, but that's the two blocks trying to be at the same height. But it doesn't seem to do it on the thing. It's interesting it shows it in black though. Because I've changed everything's been painted in black basically. You see, because if you look on the sides, it's a different. It does colour the side in, although obviously the asphalt doesn't do black. The other thing I decided to do was how I'm gonna do these. This is the faked supports for the road, so I'm using these two inverted quarter pipes. I don't usually use them anywhere, and I think in the curves they look really good when it overlaps. And particularly, I think this side looks even better. I haven't coloured that in either, have I? But yeah, these are all. I mean, at the moment I might go with a different colour, but I think the black looks pretty good, and it's nice and simple. The trouble is, I'd actually quite like to do white for these. If I've got a white one, no, I can edit that, though, can't I? Just slam that up like that, and I'll cut that. And I'm not as keen on that. It's better than the concrete and stuff, where you get it's white is grey effectively. But I'm not as keen as that as the black. I thought the black looked sort of better for these. And yeah, and we can follow this around. Now, obviously, we're going to get to some bits where this then is too high, and we can put either a load of those in. Or I could probably do something with, like I was going to do before, with like, big pillar frames or something, and make it look like it's a suspended part. Because here, for example, that's quite far down. Oh, is that not? Oh, it's not in Zoop, is it? Okay. And just, look like this part of it is suspended. Maybe put in some of the, maybe put, what would it be? Walls. No, foundation, doesn't it? All the way down the bottom. And it's the inverted for the top bit. Yeah, so it's basically just popping these on the bottom, like this. And then, turn around please. So I think it looks really good on the curves. Because it's not extreme enough a curve. Because they don't actually fit. When you do the curves, it's not actually a perfect match when you do it. But it's not far off. And particularly when you put the... Well, I can't actually show it. Put these and it sort of fills in the gap almost. It gives the illusion that there's more there. But you see it's going to be quite... I could, say, do a whole load of them maybe. But I'm wondering if maybe instead put in frame pillars, and we could put those actually on that corner then, so it looks like properly suspended. Although it might get a bit skew-iff on the other side, or maybe we put big ones on the outside, small ones on the inside. So there's lots of options there. But yeah, this here, it took me like a dozen goes to get it right, because basically what you do, effectively, you need to treat it as a because what you can do, basically this bit is the key. Because when you put them down, you don't have to, if you hold control, because obviously if you just do a scroll wheel, it flips between 45 and 90 degrees. But if you hold control, it does increments. And someone's obviously worked out that the number of increments it does means that if you come a certain distance out, then do a single increment round, when you do go back again, the corners will meet up. So basically, that angle is sufficient that by the time you get this number of pieces in, and I'm sure there's different ways of doing the maths, you can actually see it fairly good there. This is pretty much, where it needs to be. So effectively that curve is all the way down there, and it's, you know, by having a series of incrementing things, you get what is effectively a curve. And the maths on it is basically it's 14 pieces, so that, you know, 14 for this to be the curve point, the outside of the curve, 14 steps in. Well, it's actually 12, because if you think about it, 12 is more likely, but this 12 one. But if you do 14, you've then got a platform to stand on to do it, basically. So yeah, so this is the new path for this particular strip. I also went and got the beacons. So I then put the trucks in. I've also built this little possible shelter. I like these things here because these are the spotlighty things. I'm not sure about having them overlapping in this way. I was wondering maybe about putting them in on the inside. So if we put one there, you see, like that, because then you rotate this and it rotates around. Trouble is, it only goes down to flat, so I can't get that to go. I'd quite like for it to be inside and pointing out into the sort of, what would you call that, foyer bit, but it won't actually go to that angle. But yeah, so I kind of figured, so this is sort of a little garage for each of these, and obviously it'll be bigger or smaller depending on how many are in there. I think putting these two together here like this will be okay in terms of driving the trucks in. What's going to be a little trickier is, and this was what I was trying to was wondering about last time when I was putting these in, is that if you look, these are quite close, and I don't know what the pathfinding is like, how accurate it is, etc., etc. Because I mean, these trucks don't have anything in them, but if it can't turn around the corner, in fact, this is a better example, it would crash into the next truck potentially. And I don't know what it does in terms of, you know, if it can't do that turn and get to there. Because I can make this wider. This doesn't have to be too wide. In fact, it probably shouldn't be too wide. But yeah, if it can't go around the corner, I don't know what it does in terms of collision detection. Because what probably worked better is if they just sort of came in, you know, in order effectively, because all of this is the same stuff. You know, this is all going to be copper, so it sort of doesn't matter which one's unloading in which one. But then if they're doing that, why not just have them all queued up at one? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, I don't know if something with the pathfinding to go to this one, and if I just have it travel along this path, will it avoid these or will it crash into them? And I don't think it matters in the sense that I don't think it will damage them. I'm just knowing how the physics is kind of all physics all the time. I don't know if it will, you know, cause the vehicle to explode into the air or, you know, be stupid. So yeah, that's the big next question. But I don't think that's affected by the paths or anything, because these are all, you know, we'll just have the trucks driving around. Yeah, let's just walk around it. So I say I did tweak the path of this, because what I wanted, and this was a real pain. I think I should really be keeping count of how many, you know, like turn segments I've done, and then if I have exactly the same number of left as right, then the two will balance up and it will match when it gets to the other end. But it took about 5 goes to get this all done. I say these are the sort, you know, I need to build up platforms and stuff. Hello Mouse, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, so say this is the sort of new path, and what I've done is I've kept it all at the same level. So mainly as I say because of these, but also I don't think you can do curves with like angles, so you can't go up and do a curve because it goes very weird, or it seemed to. I think you probably could if you were better at it than me. So I've left these here because this is me doing the actual curves, and this is a good one. This is like more than 180 degrees, I think. It goes right the way around. And obviously this is where the concrete is. I need to put some of the platforms back in because I took them out and sort of forgot to put them in. How things been going in your factory, Mouse? You it is Mouse, isn't it? Because I noticed your avatar was looked like a little mouse. Yeah, I don't know if you've been building bridges again. Yeah, so this needs to come up here. You know, I need to attach this sort of onto the side and stuff. So that's all messing about. But say this is the sort of new path round. It's tweaked. Obviously, before it went through this dune, that dune there, or it went over it. Sorry. And I say I decided not to have multiple levels. It's all just flat. I say it's really dawning on me sort of how big a job Satisfactory is. It's like it's an enormous amount to do, even to do relatively simple things. And without Mrs. Swedish Mickey Mouse. Oh right, okay. Good old Michael Mouse. But yeah. Yeah, so that's the sort of path round. So we need to work on another one, basically. Oh, this was I was working out, could I do things underneath and above? And you can see this is trying to get the angles right. It's it's poking through the thing. But so this is like what it's all going to look like. So it's like alternating lights and power poles. Power poles, obviously, because these only have 2 connections, because the intention is you connect them all together to do lights all around. So we're going to need power connections in order to connect up to the actual what should we call it? It's the loaders. So these gives me the opportunity to do that a bit easier, basically, and particularly to the miners, because I've got a random network of power poles at the moment, and I'd rather do something a bit more organised. I did also start to mess around with putting the belts in, you know, putting the actual things in, and it is hidden. But as you can see, it's hidden by me clipping it through this dune. So it goes in here somewhere. I'm not sure which one it is. Is it this one? No. Yeah, so there you go. So it goes into this like little building and is hidden there. And I quite like that being hidden. And I can also engineer this so that this is basically like a hollow space. And that'll let me work in it. Not so keen on this, obviously. That's not quite what I'm after, but I think I might be able to sort of work with it in the sense of because you can put like frames around the belts. You have to put it on. You have to work. You know, you have to put these things in and attach it and mess around with the angles and stuff. But I think I can probably make it look like this is a sand dune that's built around. You know, it's built up around the belt rather than the belt clipping through the sand dune. But if not, I don't mind doing something else, basically. But yeah, so that's what we're working on today. Nope, can't get up there. It's too high. Let's put that on. Oh, you call that when you're little? Oh, cool. Yeah, so we need to decide where we're going today. So I'd quite like to do one. Because basically we've got a path that goes sort of from here. You see it's got the... wait, where am I? Docking station. Yeah, so it sort of goes that way, doesn't it? So it goes around there, across there, around there. This is a bit far away. There's quite a lot of stuff here, actually. And it goes, the path goes... Why should I put the... Wait, didn't I put some miners up there? Weird. I thought I put some... Because no, there's them there, but maybe I took the miners out and I left the platform. But there's some miners here, and it goes in here. And I'm thinking there's maybe like a spur or something that goes off to get these, or I just built it over. But I'm thinking today we'll try and work on one going off in this direction. Well, I think it might do it round like that. Effectively, I'm sort of ending up with the same shape, I think, each time. It sort of goes out and sort of comes back round. Right, so that'll be going off in this direction. Because I'm going to have to avoid this blooming gas, these gas hillock things. Don't know what they're called. Right, so we want no, we don't. We want Zupon. There we go. So 2, 3, 4, and then we go down. So I'm going to try and keep them consistent. If it ends up that actually this runs into this dune or something, which I think it probably will, just looking at it visually now, I might not go... I want them all on the same level for the particular one I'm building. I'm not as fussed about every single one, you know, every separate path being at the same level. Yeah, that clips right into that, doesn't it? Okay. Can I then go out here like this? Oh, that's a bit nasty. I wonder, have I got any... I haven't got any novelists, have I? Can I blow that up? Where would I have some novelists? But yeah, so it's sort of more of the same today, really. There we go, got a couple there. Because it seems to be a never-ending job. Now, obviously, part of that, I've created a problem with, you know, create that for myself, sort of thing, by deciding to do things in this particular way. Now, will you disappear? Oops. If I blow you up. No, you won't. Okay, right. Scratch that then. We will go up a level. Have I not got my light? I have. It's just very dark. Come on. Is that going to be okay? Oh, that'll be perfect. Cool. Let's say I'm not bothered about having the exact same height for all of the roads, because they're all independent, really. But because it doesn't let you do the concrete blocks, now, where are we? Because we did kind of want to head out this way again. Because that's over there, isn't it? I wish you'd put some of the things on the map properly, you know, like the structures. So we've come that way, haven't we? So we kind of need to turn over this direction and go round close to the lakes, I think. It's going to be a bit tricky when we get into this mountainous area and, you know, the sort of rocks, the mesas stuff. Especially if I'm not changing level. Okay, so I think a couple further forward. Oops. A couple further forward. Make it easier flipping through that. Because we want a collection thing here, I think. So if I make it, say, 5. And then we can have foundation. No, that'll be too close. So I think it's 4. And then, well, it depends how many there are, doesn't it? But make it 4x4. Then I will go 4x4. as it were. No, I think it's one wider. Transportation, no, transportation. No. I was actually thinking, because it's in theory it's this week for the update 6. I don't think that'll happen. I think it will end up being July. In practice, yeah, that's okay. And is it just going to be one? I think it'd just be one. Yeah, okay, so let's do a corner here then. So that was 10, so we need to go 14. And then we put a bigger block on. Doesn't matter which one. So we've got somewhere to stand and work. Easier if I do that. We take those two out. And then we go one of those. Different so we can see what we're doing. And I've just realised I put this in the wrong direction. We're not going this corner. We are going the other corner. Other direction. So I need to tweak that. Can't finish your train update before... Do you mean... So you mean as in... Is there some... Sorry, do you mean there's something coming in update 6 that you want, or just that the timescales mean you can't finish it? Because I mean they're not I don't think they're adding anything like changes to recipes or anything like that. They've sort of said not, but certainly the Spire Coast, and if you saw the trailer for the swamp, they're changing both of those like a lot. Oh, it's auto-saving. So I assume you mean that, and it's the same here. I can't really, because I'm trying to think of things to do on stream that kind of aren't me continuously grinding, sort of boring stuff, effectively. And one of the things I want to do is set up an aluminium smeltery, because it's not very big. I could probably finish it in like 2 or 3 streams. But in order to get the aluminium, I need to go in the swamp. And there's no point me building, a train network through the swamp if they're going to change it, change it all. Because if it ends up clipping, not that I've got a train network, but I could have set up, the factory and stuff. But if they change where the ore patches are in the swamp, it may not be the place to build it, sort of thing. If that makes sense. But also, I can't really sort of finish my nuclear build, because that could well end up impacted by the Spire Coast changes. The train goes through the Spire Coast, yeah. I mean, hopefully, I'm not, I personally am not too bothered in a sense, because when they changed that, what was it called, the forest area, that looked amazing after the change. So if we get something, and also the trailer for the swamp area looks really, really good. Although part of that is they've used some like really creepy music. So it's more, I think a lot of it's more the music than the actual changes. So how far around do I want this corner to go? Because I kind of want to follow this dune and sort of go past it here. So we probably need a couple more, don't we? Swamp doesn't seem to have changed its elevation much. Northern Forest, yeah. So I'm not 100% sure what they call the areas on the map, but this bit here, where I've got my what as I've called it, my ammo, my military factory with the ammo and stuff. They redid all that, and it looked amazing after the change. The trees, I mean, it looked like an actual game map rather than, because obviously it's quite a big map. and some of it I think was a bit sort of thrown together. Let's just chuck some stuff in, and it'll look okay for the time being. So I think they've been actually sort of properly designing it. Right. So how close does that get us to where we need to go? Because I'm not sure that's far enough. So if this was the straight line, yeah. Oh, it clips properly. Oh, that's miles away, isn't it? In fact, I'm not sure this is. Because if I start going around, because it's not actually here. This is like the inside piece, so it's actually one in and one below. So it's clipping through the road dune quite a bit there, isn't it? Oh, that's annoying. I think we might have to redo this. Take it in a bit further. Because what I could do in that case is put this on the inside and put it sort of here. No, missed. So this could be over here. Yeah, something doesn't seem to have changed its elevation. I mean, it was pretty flat, really, wasn't it? It's more like the trees and, I say, particular. I mean, they haven't said they're changing the nodes, but it's more the sort of nodes and stuff that are in there. Because maybe I'm over-interpreting, but with the Spire Coast, they have said they're changing where the actual oil is. And I guess other resources as well in there, but and they haven't. I don't think they've said they're changing that for the swamp, but it wouldn't surprise me. And I mean, it would make sense, I think, but maybe they'll stay exactly the same. Come on, it's taking ages. Right, so hopefully this will get me a bit better of a curve to avoid the sand dune. It is quite trial and error, this as well, because don't really know. Don't have a feel yet for the angle of the curves and stuff. And I'm sure you can do like tighter curves, probably. But as I say, it took me hours to even work out, how to do this one. And that was with a YouTube tutorial that was clearly explaining it all. I think it's because it's a hack, basically. So, oops. Oh, well, couldn't really quite get my head around it. Right. Oops. There. That's out. Come on. There we go. So notice or it seemed to be anyway, your roads were sort of integrated with the rail. Unless I sort of misinterpreted it. Because that looked quite a good idea. I don't know how you're intending on sort of tapping your ore patches, whether you're going to go with, buses or just belts or whatever. Or use trains, I don't know. So if that's... Is that the one? Yeah. Okay, let's go and have a look where this is in terms of position. I have a horrible feeling we might end up in the same problem. So if it's come round sort of like that, I think it's going to end up in that dune again. I mean, how many have I got there? 1 meter down bits. Got 2, haven't I? So I could, in theory, go to this level. And I guess I could go up at the start as well. I hadn't really thought about it. Do a ramp up rather than down. Because that, you see, that's not going to clear the dune. So clip through. And I don't mind like the edges going through and stuff, but it's gone straight into the dune. In fact, it's gone so far into the dune, I think I've lost that material. Because that's disappeared into the dune. Oh well. Let's do a bit more. We'll see what it actually looks like. So that's that one, isn't it? So 5, 2, okay. So, no. 8.5. No. 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 1, 2, 3. Stop it. No. Ah. Right, that's 45. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, where are we? Because I think that's us clipping into the dune again. Or very nearly doing so. Because I say, actually, there's another piece there. And it's in the dune, isn't it? Okay. Because this is the direction I would quite like to go anyway. Okay, we're going to have to go up a level. Oh, this is so much trial and error in this. I suppose I could have, you know... I'm making problems for myself by, you know, doing curves and you know, what have you, but... This... So I think we probably need to go... In fact, I could do it the other way around. Like, the same numbers, couldn't I? Make it a 3, 1, 3, 2... Like, ramp up. And it'll definitely miss the dune then. In fact, probably wouldn't even need the curve. Yeah. Just take it out while I'm stood on it. Okay, change your plan then. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want asphalt ramp up this time. And then I suppose that if I do this up, it also gives me the option of overlapping with that if for some reason I have to. In fact, that's not a bad idea generally, is it? Having like levelled. Huh. I mean, that's even more work, but it just occurs to me I could have had, you know, like iron on one level, copper on another, you know, cement, limestone on another. That might have been quite interesting. I don't think I'm going to do it because it's a heck of a lot of extra work. Right, so we'll put since we're nowhere near the dead floor or anything, we'll put the concrete foundation for this one here. Okay, and then we want transportation, truck station. Corner. Okay. So we're not constrained this time by the dunes. So we'll just put in whatever sort of curve we like. So we can do that now. It's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee this weekend. I was a bit interested actually because I'm not a royalist. While I wouldn't get rid of them entirely, because I think they serve a role as sort of good tourist attractors, and we could have them as employees of the state, effectively running the estates on behalf of the country. So I think there's a role for them. I'm not a fan of them being the head of state. And it's always useful to have someone to put on your banknotes and stamps, isn't it? That's worth having. But I think in terms of them being supposed head of state, that's not my. That's not what I want. I'd rather we had an elected official. What with us supposedly being a democracy and everything. But you're never quite sure in the UK how monarchistic people are. So whether they big fans of the royal family. Like why? I don't really understand. But some people seem to pay a lot of attention to them. But there's been a lot of anti-royal sentiment on sort of like the platforms I do. The BBC's kind of got almost toe a party line because it's like the state broadcaster. But apart from that, it's been quite evident that people aren't quite as keen maybe as they used to be. Which has been pleasing for me. You never know, someday we might get some real change. I wouldn't hold my breath. Not that elected heads of state are necessarily any good, but you've always got the opportunity to change them. That's the difference. You know, you get you vote every few years. Wait. I'm making a complete mess of this, aren't I? Because I've somehow not counted it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's only 12. This is why it took me so long to learn how to do this, because I'm just not very good at it. I'm sure I'd get there eventually, but just like it's so unintuitive for me. You know, I'm not used to building games where you sort of clip things through things, you know, to achieve something simple. I mean, why isn't there just a curved piece of road? That. That. Not that. Get all of it? Yeah, okay. So I need 2 more, don't I? So that's not the one. So it needs to be 2 longer. I'll double check it so that I don't make the same error. No. So 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Okay. So assuming counting has not failed me, which you never know. Okay. There's more practice as well, I suppose. Right, out there. That. That. No, wait a minute. I can add the... That was 1 short, I think, but we can add the extra one in, no problem. The guy was doing this in the video, and it was just like... It was like a blur of movement. Must have done it so many times. And I was like... What are you doing? Right, so... There must be a... Is that an... Okay. Yeah, there we go. Maybe a couple more? So that I got wrong. We've missed one. That one? Yeah. Again, I think I did that other one too short. Right. Okay. Let's fill in those gaps. I was okay for a bit. No probs. Okay, so are we pointing in the right direction? I think we are. Yes, perfect. Right, so I don't need that in there because that's the wrong level. Now we need to get down here without killing ourselves. Oh, I forgot to put the nuts. So I need to put 1 extra on. Which is easier to do at the top. Oops, no. Can do from underneath. Okay, and then back to Zoop. And we put the 2 in that we actually want. Okay, now back up. And take all this out. I've been leaving you know, like the remnants behind in case I need to sort of change or fix things. But I just saw it sort of more as I'm doing them. I realise I've completely messed it up. So that one needs to go. Well, that's it. So there's our road. Now I need to go decide where it needs to head. So I'd quite like to skirt round next to the... I was going to call it a pond. I suppose it's more like a lake. I don't think I want to go like around the lake. We could go between the lakes, because there's two lakes, I think, aren't there? Yeah, there's two. So it could, in theory, sort of go around here. I mean, that would be quite cool. But there is a lot of noxious... You can see the green gas there. If I did do that, if I went... Because let's point me in the direction so I can tell on the map. So that would be... That's our current heading. Yeah, so our current heading would take us nicely around it. It would get me a bit closer to these, because this is actually quite far away. So maybe it'd be good to go around there. And we could try and sort of go through these, because those are like the spine things, those black bits there. These could maybe try and head through them. You know, like they're the bridges over the, you know, over the road, and sort of come through this gap here. Or go that way, because that would take us right past... I think that one is this here, I think. So if we were to try and come through that gap... Because it might be better if we curve round like that. Because then, or maybe through there. Because say this is the whole mesa area, which is really difficult terrain. Okay. And then we need to end up with a third one, I think. We no way we're doing this on stream, but one that goes sort of big loop round there, I think. Okay. Let's give that a go. So I say, this needs to be a big, long, straight bit. So I'm really fascinated, particularly in the desert, what some of these things are, because a lot of it looks like destroyed buildings to me, as in almost like Egyptian, ruins, that sort of age of thing. That's kind of why I'm sort of fascinated about what the story side of the game is. Oops. But it's particularly clear in the desert that there are those buildings, so it makes me kind of wonder what the aliens or whoever it was that lived here were actually up to, and how long ago. So, if I was to try and head for that, where would that put me? So if that was the hillock. So that's the contour lines, isn't it, of the hillock? So we would interact a little bit. I wonder if I can get round. Again, let's point me in the direction. Yeah, we're too far right. So we do want a curve sort of over there, but not a big one. So where do I want to start that? I think if I start it where I am, I can give that a go. So let's try and do my counting right. So 12. So we've already got 2. So I need to be a little careful for poison and stuff, because I don't want to end up building it so that I'm stood in the poison doing this. Right. and out. And put that in. So, curve that way. Come on, there we go. So we don't need a big curve, but let's just put one more in. See where that gets us. What way we'd be heading. Okay, so if this was the straight line, I think that's probably perfect. Maybe one more. Again, it makes these, it plays these sort of weird, so they sound to me like choral chants, or like in a monastery or something, the sort of singing that they do. I don't, and it only seems to play those around here. So I don't know if that's just me projecting something on them. Because that's what I think these are. I think they're, say, ancient temples or ancient monasteries or something like that. And it's some sort of religious aspect to it. Could be that the... I extended that, didn't I? I didn't mean to do that because I need to put... I keep forgetting to do this bit. So we need to switch soup off. Put these in first. And this is the straight bit then, is it? Yeah. Right, so we need to get rid of that. Whoops. And then get rid of this. Now, it's quite a long way down here, I think. Okay. Back to Zoop. Zoobity-boo. Up again. Yeah, cool. Cool EO. Come on. Okay, so that must be the smaller lake with the trees on it, and this is the bigger lake. So we're heading straight for the smaller lake. Yes, we are. Okay. So we need to come a bit further over and then curve around. Okay. A bit further. Now, where do I want to go? Because that's clearly ribs, isn't it? There's got some big animal has died there. Now we need to curve here. Maybe one further back. Because the curves are quite gentle. So I'm thinking we try and curve for... Now, would we fit under that? Oh, there's obviously a thingy nearby.
Your contract
That might
legally
get annoying.
compels you to harvest this artifact.
Where is it? So it might get a bit annoying if I leave that there. So if I was going this way, let's just do a little explore. I was trying to head through, or should I head between them maybe? Because see all that poison gas over there. Oh.
Harvest it.
So height-wise, because we need quite a lot of clearance for the trucks. The trucks are pretty big, pretty tall. So if the truck's going on this, and I put the road underneath it, it is definitely crashing into that, isn't it? Okay, so we need to go around this rib or whatever it is. Sounds like one of the spiders is down there. Oh, it's a yellow power slug. Yeah. So.
Relaying message.
Yes.
Hello, this is paternal figure. I have taken ill and need your help to find a cure.
I wonder where the heck that
Doctors say
is.
that the only remedy is alien artifacts.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and sort of go between those. So I think we need to curve a little bit so that we go along parallel to it. And then...
Harvest.
Because this is the big crater. This is where the big crater is. So it's quite a far away, isn't it? No, I can always build it. Okay. So we'll curve here, I think. We'll take that way. We'll add on to this. So that's 12. So that must be 14. Okay. Pop in a little platform to work from. Take the 2 out. In. Oh, no. Ocean in.
Breaking news from Earth. Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
Yeah, where is that? Because that's going to get really annoying.
Comply.
Where is it? I mean, there's a beastie there. I just can't see. No.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen. Harvest it.
Yeah.
Relaying message. Hello, this is paternal figure. I have taken ill and need your help to find a cure. Doctors say that the only remedy is alien artifacts.
So, if this was... Yeah, I think that's the angle I want there. Okay. So, that out. Switch that to regular. And then underneath. Still can't see it. Or is that it there? There it is.
Comply.
Didn't appear to be anything guarding that. Interesting. Right. Yeah. Oops. Put the actual road in. off in this direction. Try and work out which way we're going to go. Might need to start the turn here to see if we can fit through them. I think we'll probably be alright trucks-wise if we can get through the middle of... if we have to go through the middle of those. But this one, as I say, I'm pretty sure we would bonk into the... whatever it is, rear ball, leg, or whatever it's supposed to be. If we were to try and... maybe, I think maybe one more. So it's very difficult to judge, oops, how steep the angles are. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? 9, 10, 12, 13. Oh, I completely lost count there. So, well, let's use that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14. So, one too many. Top. Those two out. That one in. Why is it not telling me how? Oh, it is. I just can't see. I couldn't see the times 10, so it's because it's orange on orange. Okay. So this may be another trial and error one. Oops. So I find it very difficult to judge how sharp the turns are. Oops. Come on. No, there we go. Is one missing there? Oh, what's happened there? Why is... oh, it's because I extended it. In fact, we could leave that one. Because I'd already put a couple in and then I, yeah, did a full zoop on top. Okay. In fact, actually, how are we doing angles? So we've turned through. So we were here. We got round to here. Or I think we might hit that. Okay. Let's give it. Let's keep going then. Need to set up some more fuel production because I've switched to using this jetpack a lot more, and it's not at all fuel efficient. It's burns it up like you wouldn't believe, and I'm not making any fuel, so I'm going to run out fairly soon, I think. Oops. Yeah. Do a couple more, see how that where that gets us to. Is that the next one? Yeah. Okay. Let's see where we've got to now. Where have we gotten to? Is it a good place? Right. So, it's coming around. So this is the right-hand side. So come around here, come around here, come around here. Ooh. Because there's going to be another one on the side here, you see. If it doesn't hit it, it's going to be so close. Because it sort of moves in by like that sort of angle, doesn't it? So it'd be... and hitting it. We might be 1 or 2 off. Let's just plough on there. Let's just plough on. So I'm not sufficiently familiar with the process to know what the angles actually are, and I've redone the exact same one. It gets tricky at this because it's difficult to tell. There you go, I've done it again. So it looks like it's pointing in a different direction, but it isn't. So let's do that one. There we go. That's why I was trying to count them the other way, but it's a bit inconsistent. Right, so 2 more, I think. Oh, I've missed one. Okay. So it's like that, I think. Yeah, okay. Right, how are we doing now? How are we doing now? So, it's coming around this corner, it's coming around this corner, it's coming around this corner. Oh, we might be okay. Or we might not. It's literally going to clip it, I think. Right. So. I think it's a full 90 degrees now, isn't it? 2 more. Oops. Yeah, because that's the last one. Oh no, it isn't. Oh no, it isn't. There? Oh, I'm way off. I need another one as well. Okay. Like that. It's nowhere near 90 degrees. In fact, let's make it 90 degrees. It's a full 90 degree corner. So, let's see where that gets us. Because we might have to go more. Because we're not actually hit this yet. So at the moment, this is where we are. Ooh, perfect. Perfect. Can I stand on that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like it. So, oh. This is the actual road here. And it's going to go straight that way. All my... Oops. No. All my doubting. Big question is the... is that some limestone now? Big question is this poison here now, isn't it? So, if this is the straight line of the road... Oops. We go down there, and then we do another left. Because we can go under this arch. Oh, there's a purple slug up there. Under this arch, and immediately, or probably we won't start turning before that. But do we go through that gap? Can we go through that gap? Because I think I should be okay with the poison here. Don't think... Oh, I'm out of stuff. Right. So we should have enough to just finish this off. There's loads of stuff. There's loads of like material where I've been building these curves, but I sort of wanted to leave them in case I needed to make small adjustments because I find it sort of so hard to do. If I go down, is someone going to attack me? Because there are beasties down there. have I got enough to actually do this? No. No, come on. No. Won't let me put that one in for some reason. So yeah, this is the road, you know, travelling that way. So if I take out another row here, hopefully that gets me enough concrete. Play with. Okay. Oops. Wait, I want to do it from that way. Yeah, run out of stuff. Okay. Oh, and I didn't put all the way there. Wait. What? Okay, so if I take out does that get me enough to just finish off? Yeah, okay. Oh dear. Hard down the road, crew. Hard down the road, crew. Right, I'll just put these in the straight bit here. And we will head back and get some more concrete. Got so much junk in my inventory again. What could I leave behind? I guess things like circuit boards and stuff. In fact, I could just head over there, couldn't I? Oh no, let's drop some stuff off and make a bit more room in the inventory. It's only 4 o'clock, so we need plenty of concrete, I think. I wondered about re-enabling the sound. You know, the soundtrack is turned off because although I like it, it gets. I have a thing with a lot of game music where the repetition kind of drives me a bit potty. It's very few. It's one of the things I keep saying it, but one of the things I love about the Factorio soundtrack is it only plays like discrete songs every so often. It doesn't play music continuously. Which is what I prefer usually for games. What can I get rid of? So we don't really need all that ammo. I don't even know why I'm carrying some circuit boards. Yes, I'm going to get rid of the crystal. In fact, let's keep that one. No, I got them because I was messing about with the signs, wasn't I? Let's just keep the rest of it. Oh, well, get rid of... Don't need that. Yes, I could put the hazard suit in there so that I can forget about it later. And there's not really any point having the jetpack if there's no power. And I'll keep the Nobelisks in case I decide I really need to blow something up. And if I've not got the suit, I don't need the filters. Oh, we got some concrete. Oh, I guess I could put some of them back. I don't need. I had thought. I didn't really finish that thought, but I had thought about, because they all become redundant when the whatchamacallits, the beacons all become redundant, and I don't think it's going to take them out of your inventory and stuff. I think they'll stay. But I believe all the recipes are changing to get rid of beacons. Either that or they will change. But in which case I've got... Well, it turns out I've got 2 entire storage containers of beacons, fully stacked. Which is what? A lot. It's officially a lot, I think. It's almost getting on for 1,000. No, it must be more than... It must be like 4,000. But then I was like, oh wait, you need them... even though they're getting rid of them, we still need them to build trucks and stuff now. Is there a bit of this missing? No, optical illusion. So yeah, I've ended up keeping them. But yeah, I was a bit sort of like... it's the nature of early access games, I suppose, but I was a bit... Yeah, there's obviously a spider around here. Can't get me though. I'm up on my walkway, up on my road. There are stars in the sky. I didn't realise that. Never seen that before. Right. But yeah, I was a bit sort of like, but I spent hours and hours and hours building a factory to make beacons, and now you're just removing them. Okay. So if I go here, do I get poisoned? No. Okay. But that's probably about as close as I can get. So, because if I build... I got rid of the hazard suit, didn't I? What an idiot. Because if I build out there, this is definitely going to poison me, isn't it? No? Okay. I don't know what the hitboxes are on the poisons. So I'm 12 out now, I guess. So I think that's the 14th. So 14. And this would be 13. No, still didn't poison me. Okay. Yeah, so that's 13. Okay. So if we were to do a turn here and head for where? Is that... So there's 2 lakes over there. Can I thread the needle and get it through there? And is that where I want to go? Because where are we heading for at the moment? We're heading straight for that big mesery thing there. So this dark bit is the mesa. Yeah, so if I try and sort of thread the needle between those two cliffs, that puts me close to all of these guys. And then it's a case of how far over do I go? Because it'd be really cool. Is there a straight... So if I point in that direction... No, so if we point in that direction... So we ended up roughly pointing... Obviously it'd be further down. But if we ended up sort of pointing that way... Because there's a black bit there which suggests there's something... Okay. So we might have to avoid something over there, but it looks like we're already high enough. Oh? What are you grumbling at? Okay, let's give that a go then. Not what I was doing. Let's give that a go then. The beacons will not disappear, but you won't be able to craft them. Oh, right, okay. I think the crafting recipes will stay, but you won't be able to make new machines with the recipe using the beacons. Okay. I think the machines are all still there, but autosave. They're not actually doing anything, my machines, because I sort of cut it all off. I kind of built that factory a bit naively is the wrong word, but I sort of it's way too short. I thought it'd sort of stay there permanently because the beacons and ammo is currently so hard to craft. I say it's not. I fully appreciate. It's an early access game. They change things. That's not what I'm sort of worried about. It's more that I spent ages building a factory. I mean, it was a good learning exercise, so I'm not that miffed about it. But it was sort of like I spent ages building that factory, making what is quite a complicated set of recipes. And then partly because I have taken so long to get further in the game. Which, again, I'm effectively playing for this for the first time, so it's not meant as a self-criticism as such, it's just a fact. That I'd built up so much ammo and beacons, it was like, well, this factory is redundant now. As I keep saying, I could kill everything on the map about 10 times over. Let's do a couple more, but I think we're past where we need to go. Yeah, better safe than sorry. And then they come along, and it's not like I could, revive it and have some use for it. It's just now it is really completely redundant because you're not even going to be able to make the things. Typical. Right, yeah, so it's too far over because I want to be heading that direction. So, which one gets me to that direction? It's got to be a couple more. No. I thought I was overbuilding it, so maybe some evidence. Oh, is that about right? No, maybe take that one out. So if this was the foundation, and I'm heading along it, we'll probably clip the lake. So, hang on. have I taken 2 out by accident? So, overlapping what? Is that going through the tree? Why is it telling me it's overlapping something? No, that's too far to the left now. We might have to compromise. I don't think it will give me the perfect angle. So... if I point myself in that direction... yeah, because one more is going to be... is where we were. Have I left something? No. If I point straight down the road... yeah, I think it's... I think I prefer being on one shorter than this, so the road here, basically. Let's get rid of... oops. This. Oops. Okay. Right, there was something down here, wasn't there? Yeah, you. Yes, yes, grunt, grunt. Hitbox is incredibly generous on them. It's like, it's the other reason you don't actually need that much ammo. Right, so we need to put that in now. Oh. Oh, okay. Awesome. See how close we end up between these 2 lakes. Between 2 lakes. No? It'd be rude not to collect that slug. Just sitting there, being all sluggy. So, map appears to have lied to me. Or I got the angles wrong. I think might be a good place to do a corner. Anyway. Because where do I actually want to go? In fact, is there... yeah, that's where the land is, isn't it? So if I was to try and... because we would hit this, I think. I think that's probably at the same height we are. Certainly that one's around the same as us. So if we were to try and aim for there... because that's where we're going, basically. So we don't actually want to come too far down. Because that's that there. We sort of want to go through between whatever these are, I think, and come round there. Or do I? Might be better to go around that way. We could always go and reverse engineer it. Although, didn't I come out? Oh no, I came out that way, didn't I? So I could go. We could go and start there and see where we get to. Do a long straight there. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. Nothing kills us in the meantime, because there's bound to be all sorts of nasty things in these lakes.
Breaking news from Earth. Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
Bound to be... Oh, there's a doggo. Hello. Evening. Bound to be spiders. There's always spiders. It's pretty much guaranteed. Certainly a dog. Hog. See, 6 shots and it's dead. And you call yourself tough. Right. Cracking. No, I did come out the direction I thought I came out. Oh, let's just get over there. Let's get some legs on. Keep moving. No. Because I think... Didn't I? Yeah, so I came out of there. So this return path needs to... Wait, is that a crash sign? Oh, it is, isn't it? That means, yeah, there's something around here. Okay. Get that on. Flip our way through Flea Boy. Right. So, that's a little trickier than I thought it was going to be, because if I want to do one that goes out in this direction and heads, you know, around to collect these, then I would ideally be heading out in this direction as the return path, the one we've just done, or are doing. In fact, that's there, isn't it? I keep thinking that I've aligned my factory north, south, east, west, but I haven't. And that's what's really confusing me, I think, because these aren't north, south, east, west. Not quite. They're not far off, but I think it's just a bit out. Is it? So I think I've just got it slightly off. It's slightly an angle, so it's sort of confusing me a little bit. Because that's me pointing exactly on the corner of the factory. And it's not quite, you know, it's not quite east. It's like east plus 5 degrees. So anyway, if this was coming out of here, because I can't blow these up, can I? Classic gamer solution. Can I just blow up the problem? No. Look, if they're going to give me explosives, I'm going to try and explode things. So, how do I go about that then? I mean, I could. This could be, like, it could end and start in the same point. I'm actually thinking these need to be a lot, like, bigger, because I'm creating loops and stuff with, I don't know what the behaviour is on these trucks in terms of, like, collision avoidance. Are they just going to crash into each other? But certainly, I mean, there's no way I'm going to turn corners here and not have trucks accidentally falling off, am I? So I think this whole platform really should be bigger. So in other words, I think I probably need to add a bit here anyway. And there's no room to add too much more here. If I make this like one wider, it means these aren't at the corners anymore, but that I'm not fussed about that. If I make them all, well, that would be okay with them. So it's extra one there that I need to add. Not far off the corner, is it? It also works because I've put 4 straight bits anyway. And if this makes it 3 straight bits, three angle, and then 3 of each of the angle bits. So it's then 1, 2, 3 in a row. Just gives me a bit more manoeuvring room. I'm intending to put like walls around this anyway, so hopefully that'll keep any flying trucks contained. But yeah, so what I could do... No, that wouldn't really work. Cause maybe I just abandon it being entirely corners. And we have something in the middle here. Going out that way. Like those. Or just offset it a bit here. Because at the moment, if I do a road out that way, it goes straight through that rock. Which doesn't look great, but also gives the trucks more stuff to crash into. If I do that way, I'm sort of interfering with that other route. So yeah, I think if we do whatever that one ends up being, and I've just offset this slightly that way. I needed to put... It needs to be on the same height. So I went up by 1 meter ramp, I think. Oh, sorry, 3 1 meter ramps. Like that. No. Like that. And then 2 meter ramp. I think. And then let's just check. Is that the same height? Yes, perfect. I've done a remembering. Well done me. Okay. So. Where does this get us to? If I just draw this out as one gigantic straight road. Where do we end up? Oops! We end up accidentally falling off because I'm not paying attention. We're doing quite well at this, I say. I sort of thought I'd struggle a bit more, but I think I'm getting the hang of it a little bit. Maybe that's a bit optimistic. Okay, where's our other road? Our other road is over there. Huh. Our other road is here, isn't it? So this, it turns out, is pretty big, isn't it? Because that's that. Is it, or is it that? We've got that there. That bacon is there somewhere. So that one there. So this, with the sort of knobbly bit there, because that's the knobbly bit. So yeah, that is with the dark bit on the top, the unrevealed dark bit. And we are currently with our other bit of the road there, heading in this direction, or towards this. So we're now heading at this big lump from both directions. And it turns out the big lump is a bit like a spiny rib cage. Spiny spine. Spiny spine? Like a dinosaur spine. So actually this is all raised up. So I either need to come around this way, or, because there's stuff here, actually punch through here. So yeah, I think what I need this to do, because we've come along straight here, I think we need to curve this way and like loop round. But say this is going to be tricky, isn't it? Because I'm not sure what's what. I think the pokey up bit there might be that. Because there's an ore resource right behind it. So kind of need to see if we can sort of thread the needle through that gap, I think. Okay. Which way around am I going to do this? Because this is where I had a lot of trouble as well with the other road, in that... In that... Then if, you know... If you're using 90 degrees, it's relatively easy to keep track of, you know, how many times you've gone left and right. But with the angles, and because I'm doing it like by feel and not counting them, in order to perfectly match... Oops, why did that not delete? In order to perfectly match, really I should be counting the number of times I go, you know, number of left steps and right steps. But I'm not doing that. Okay, if we turn a bit of a corner... Now what about that big lump there? That, I decided, was that one, didn't I? So I want to go to the right of that, really. So we actually want to be over there. So I think, oops, if we go, take a couple out, maybe one more. Would that take us? I think that would be a good angle there. Yeah, okay, let's give that a go. We'll see if we can finish this road. I don't mind going a bit late either, because as I say, we've got a gigantically long weekend to celebrate the public holidays, to celebrate the Jubilee. So I suppose Liz is good for something in the end. Bit of holiday. And the only plan I had was to watch, I think it'd just be the first episode, isn't it? Because they do them sequentially, but a new series of The Boys comes out today, or starts today. I really quite enjoy it, actually. I always sort of really liked the dark take on superheroes, both like as actual heroes, so like quite like the Batman, the film. But actually, that's quite what I quite liked about the original Tim Burton Batman. It was actually quite dark in places. But also the more sort of, well, realistic. It's not realistic, is it? But version of superheroes. In particular, there used to be, I don't think they've done any in ages, but there used to be a comic, Martial Law, which is a pun, obviously. Which is kind of a sort of a... Basically, the idea was that if the Americans did develop superheroes, it would be in response to something like the Vietnam War or something, where they needed combat troops. Obviously, it's quite an old series, quite an old comic. People, I think, barely even know there was a Vietnam War nowadays. But that was like once they've all been done with, as it were, once the heroes are no longer needed. I think one or two more. Let's put two in. What happens? They sort of become superheroed, you know, superpowered rejects essentially. But the boys is basically, I mean, the guy who wrote it admitted it was exactly that. But it's like basically it copied it, martial law. But the actual comic, I wasn't that keen on the comic. It was sort of a bit immature, if I'm honest. It's a bit sort of, you know, shock value for shock value's sake type of approach. TV series is much better, but the TV series is also therefore a lot closer to martial law because that was the good bit of the original comic. Right, I think that's perfect. No. Yeah, that starts today, I think, on Amazon. I'll watch that. I'm terrible at keeping up with all this new stuff. I was saying the other day, the other stream, that I sort of... Oh, I forgot to take them out, didn't I? I've grown a little bit fatigued with Marvel in particular. There's just so much of it. Oh. It actually reminds me a lot of, and I know a lot of them are based on these things, but when I used to collect comics, when I used to read comics as a kid, it was right at the era where they sort of discovered the massive crossover thing and how much money they could make out of that. Where, I mean, they've always had crossover comic books because, you know, it's sort of, you get a little bit of a boost of sales from, you know, both fans buying the same book, and also, you know, potentially introducing people who, you know, haven't read Iron Man comic or whatever to Iron Man if you put him in Spider-Man. So I think if we do a couple more, to say we've always had them. Trouble is, if I turn the corner here, I don't think am I going to be able to clip through that enough? We're going to be far enough along because I think I'm going to lose them if I do that. The trouble is, unless I start the curve earlier. If I was to start the curve there. Yeah, but they then got they kind of went nuts with it. And ended up, basically, they had these massive crossover events. And so it was what kind of turned me off reading comments. And you'd have to buy like 30 comic books just to find out what the one hero you were interested in, generally Spider-Man and Wolverine, was doing, and so you were spending an absolute fortune. So if I do this here, I'm going to lose a bunch of concrete, and I don't care as such, but it's not very convenient. I say you'd have to read, or certainly buy, a ridiculous number of comic books just to find out what was happening to the one hero you did want to read about. And that's kind of, I think I've deleted too many there, haven't I? That's kind of what the MCU has become. It's like, are you actually interested in, you know, character X? Or have they just done it with so much, you know, general relevance to other heroes you are interested in? You've kind of got to go and watch that other film. or series or whatever. It's all a bit much for me. So not that they're probably great. I don't know, but I've not got a spare 40 hours to watch every single television series. This is even worse, isn't it? Because I can't actually see where I'm putting it. Let's put another. Whoops. No. Whoops. Another one of these on. See if I can't. No. Can't see what's going on. No, that didn't really help. Okay. No clue whether that's the correct angle or not, because I can't see the other. Let's just guess it is. No. Twas wrong. Twas wrong. That one maybe then? Let's let me do that. Nope, I missed one. Nuts. Okay. So. Oops. There. Hopefully. Somebody's put a rock in the way of my road. So if that's that one, I think that's a new angle. Let's go and see what it looks like. Oh, autosave. Okay. Because this is the inside curve, isn't it? So this is the outside bit of road. So that would be the outside bit there. And it would head in that direction. So it's a bit close. To these guys. But we could probably put a little bit straight in with the intention of maybe having a platform. Whoops. What platform there? Maybe? Where are we? Because the other road is there and it's sort of heading, pointing straight at us, I think. Yeah, there it is. Look, that's the other road. Okay. So maybe we'll do it tunnel boring style and see if we can't have the two meet up. There's a few hogs want to have a chat with us first. If it's okay. We have a rifle. Yeah. Right. Let's get a rifle. So I don't know what's over here. Anything? So that's our road there. Okay. Let's pop that on. See if we can't get on top of it. Okay. Can I see the road from this direction? I can't tell. This is quite tricky. Do I want to turn a corner is basically the question. For some reason it does seem to be rendering it. But we're basically... Where are we? I think we're here-ish, aren't we? Because we got those two patches. Can I make out the road? I can't see it. Because it goes that way. Let's just, if I just continue this straight, but we'll only do one, and we'll see where this would come out. Might be interesting having something in the swamp as well, like a supporting thing. Okay, so it's over there, isn't it? That's it there. Okay. So if I put a curve in here... Oops. Actually, let's put the other side of the road in, so I don't get too confused. Huh? Now, do I want to start the curve here? Or one back? I think I'm going to go with one back. So, takes us up to 12. No. So that's 14. Oops. That's the foundation. Oops. That's a turning point. This is why I thought about turning the music back on, because it's a bit repetitive as well. And it would also be nice to do something different on streams. I keep trying to think of, well, what can I do that's a little bit different. Or at least got a purpose to the stream. Because stream after stream of me putting in a set belts in the foundry is going to get quite tedious, I think. Same with this. At least this has the challenge of, well, where are we taking the road? Things like that. Whereas the sorter's side of life is, I think I've made that way too big a curve, but I can always take it off. Wait. No, that's okay. So, it's too big an angle, isn't it? So yeah, I think it does need one less, at least. No? What are you doing? No? Why aren't you undoing that? Delete. There you go. No? I don't want you to delete all of it, just some of it. There. Okay, so, is that any better? I can't remember how pointed in this direction that is. Well, let's go and see. So, this is the inner one, isn't it? So if this was the outer one, how close does this get us? Because we're not far off. And it won't match, as I say, because I won't have got a perfect number of, you know, angles and stuff in. But if it's near as damn it, then I'm happy with that. Also, this is out in the middle of nowhere. How many times was I going to see this, you know? Right, so if this was the curve here, so basically we need to sort of nibble this back a bit and put, well, can I put a couple more on there? Given I can't really see what I'm doing. Let's give it a go. Right. So I think that's the angle. No, too far. Okay. So maybe that one? No. That one? Yeah. Okay. So say it's going to need to come back around quite a few, I think. So that new, I think that's correct. So I'll just put a load in. Maybe try one more. Right, so this is, put one here, oops, put one here. This is the outer direction. So if that was the road there, no, it's way off, isn't it? So we want a good few more. So, oops. That one? No. Okay. So, wait, was that? Oh, did I put that in as? Concrete, no. And that's, no, okay. Gonna have to stop in a bit because I'm losing the plot a bit. Right. Okay, how far does that get us? Because obviously we can tweak the angle on the other end as well. So we can sort of nibble it in. So if this was the road here. I mean, that looks like it's pointing about the right direction, doesn't it? So let's see if that one works. At the other end, is there, can we take out one or two bits of road? We're obviously too high, but if we can just take out, say, like one piece of road, curved road and get it somewhere near, then I will be happy with that. So this is the straight bit. So if we did up to there, are we going to hit? Because that's the inner road. I think I've mismatched them. So actually that would be the outer road. There's obviously one down. Will you interact? Okay. Oh, it's a bit off, isn't it? Is it though? If I put... Oops. So if I... put this in. I've got to remember that we're one too high. Right, so that's the curve coming around. Ah, if I take that out... No, it doesn't fit there. What about if I take that one out? Oh, now we may be... Yeah, I'm happy with that. That'll do. Because you've got to remember there's going to be a barrier here. There'll be a... In fact, it's one of the reasons I've started doing it. So there'll be some barriers here. So it won't be quite as noticeable. You know, like that sort of thing. Well, I say not quite as noticeable. That's even worse, isn't it? But I'm happy with that. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Because if we take that one out, put that one in, that's too bigger jump. Okay, so I say, gotta remember that we are slightly too high, but is that the right one? Yeah. So get rid of all of that. Get rid of this third piece. You two. Yeah, so that's where we want to go straight. Okay. Oops. Where's the... Okay, so that's the first curve bit. Okay. Want zoom on? Come on. Yeah, okay, so I don't want that bit. I do want that at that bit. To there. I say, and it's like, it's not just the number of curves, it's the number of straight bits, because even when the curves align, if you've gone like one too far or one, you know, one more in one direction, it's going to misalign. So we're out in the middle of nowhere. I could always put a loading platform there as well, hide it further, but we're out in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to see it never again, so let's just go with it. Okay. So actually I don't want those bits. I'll get rid of this in a row. I'll just sacrifice those bits of concrete to the gods of the mountain. Let's get up there. Yeah, appears not to match there anyway. Well, looks things. But I think that's because we're just missing the outer row. Right, so we want zoop off. Put these on. Okay. So oops. Well, there we go. That's all of men. Excuse me. Right, there we go. A road. A road in a loop. A loop in a road. Oh, yeah. So I'll try and, well, I was going to say, oh, well, I got more time this weekend, but so I might try and put the third one in myself between now and Monday. Not 100% sure on that. But what we could do, because part of the problem is, or is it a problem? So these two that I've done are going to have access to coal because there's coal on the pathway. This one here, unless I've missed a coal, which I could well have done, isn't. Oops. No. So I do this, it's probably not going to show me. Didn't it only ping 3 of them? Where are they? So yeah, coal there. So it's not, you know, the nearest coals are these ones. What was that? Sounded like a spy. Oh no, it was one of these spitting lads. You're right. So yeah, so the other two, I can just have them go around, and when they get to one that's near a coal or whatever, I can put it in the fuel. This one is more tricky because there's not an actual coal patch that I'm aware of down here. I mean, I also need to solve the problem. I've got a steel foundry there, and it needs coal and iron. There's a whole load of coal there, and you know, some iron. So do I need also a route here that brings it in, or do I just do a, you know, like a bus? Because I could just have a loop road here. Bring that in. But we'll probably need more iron than that. Not sure. Because obviously I can transfer it over. I mean, I'm going to want to... Well, that's the thing. If I bring coal into this... whatchamacallit? This foundry, do I then train the coal across to here? Because I could obviously bring it in and just transfer it to the other, you know, these. So this could be coal, for example. Or, well, wouldn't be, would it? One of these could be coal. Did I colour them in already? Yeah, so I think I was thinking these two were coal. And I just transfer it over because I've got multiple belt slots. And then the rest of it I could put on a train. We just have a local train that goes between the foundry and delivers iron ore. And then I don't need iron ore anywhere else. So if I need more iron ore, I don't actually know how many patches I need to tap. I have worked it out somewhere, but I'm not sure where. I could always bring some in, you know. And there's a factory here that's, you know, kind of collecting iron ore. So I could train, you know, I could have a train it over. There is, I'm intending for there to be like a main line, basically taking everything from here, effectively like in a, I don't know about a loop, maybe a loop, but certainly a back and forth system that essentially almost like goes around the coast. Not really, because it would go through that canyon across this, you know, up here. So it's kind of, it's sort of connecting up the routes I've already done. But like you, Mouse, if I don't know if you're still there, but if I need to come up with a proper rail system rather than the higgledy-piggledy mess that I've already done. But it could be branch, you see, so all the trains could go down a single route here, and then a branch just goes off to the steel, because aluminium's going to be here as well. It's going to be so good when we got proper markers and beacons, because I just put them on without wafting my cursor around. But yeah, then I eventually I need to start working on some bigger factories, or some other factories to make intermediate level stuff. Because the idea of these foundries, I mean, I've not even got to the concrete factory and deuterium smeltery. I need to do something with quartz. Aluminium's not done. So there's so much to do. This needs all converting into whatever final form it needs to be. The oil, I'm happy to have the oil processing here, and we just, whatever the Spire Coast ends up looking like, you know, we just put that on the main, you know, that main line system, and just, you know, train it over as well. I say there's so much to do. I'm actually wondering if I swap in another series, to be honest. It's one of the reasons I was thinking about doing multiplayer, because I enjoyed doing this, but there is so much, and a lot of it's going to be so repetitive. I'm not sure I can fill the amount of time. Cool. Anyway, so it's 5 o'clock, so might as well end it there. We will definitely be back on Monday. whether it's more of this. So what I'm tempted to do on Monday is set the trucks going, work on the actual truck stops and get some trucks moving around it and find out this question of do they crash into each other, etc., etc. How do I need to do it? Because I don't mind. I put 3 in here. I don't mind if it's just one. I think that's probably going to have enough throughput because we can put whatever level belt we want on. The only question is the loading speed on these. It's not instantaneous, which is why I would quite like multiple for iron and copper. But say we can then work out the actual truck pathing and etc. But what it may devolve into is a stream where I just put barriers along roads, because that's going to take ages. Everything takes ages. Right, okay, so that's to say the plan for Monday. Let's pop up your schedule, because I'll be back tomorrow and Sunday as per usual. So tomorrow's stream will be Crashtorio 2. I know what we're doing in that one as well. It's almost like I've been doing some planning. Basically, we are at the stage with the Crashtorio 2 where I've accidentally used up a lot of material. Now, I could switch over everything over to matter processing, but that would require an enormous amount of power, which I don't think we could sustain either. So what we basically need to do tomorrow is focus on beefing up copper in particular. There's one of the stations has completely run, one of the outposts has completely run dry. So we need to do that. So we might as well do a whole bunch of resource gathering, and we'll put in more trains and all that sort of stuff so that we've got some actual material coming in. And I then don't have to... in fact, and also, I mean, we need more uranium because I've completely tapped out that uranium patch. So if we're going to run the base on fusion for a good while, then we need to get another uranium patch tapped up. So there's loads of resource gathering I need to do. So be a fairly chill one, just getting resources basically, because we don't really have to fight the biters, so it's not a difficult exercise. It would also be good to explore because we've not actually got that many reasonable patches close by, so it might be worth doing a bit of exploring as well. Sunday is the return of the aesthetic series. I have been very busy on the aesthetic series map, and I've finished, finished-ish. It's nearly there. Finished the ports. So for one of the smelteries. So I've sort of got some. I now know how to do them, as it were, and make them look what I think looks pretty good. So we can start extending those to the other, to the mining outposts, and also the other foundry, because we're going to have a foundry doing each. So we've got one supplied by rail, one supplied by boats, and one supplied by both. So it's the supplied by both that I really need to work up basically. And also, say we could do the mining thing that is, loading up the ore onto the boats. So yeah, that should be quite interesting, quite fun. Something a bit different. And then I say back to this on Satisfactory on Monday, and we'll be, I think we'll try and do the trucks and see how the pathing works and whether this whole plan is doomed to disaster. So more generally, so there's the schedule there. So basically stream at the weekends, 3 o'clock, and 5 o'clock on the Monday after work. And if you are watching the VODs, you can come say hello on the Twitch stream. It's just Trismegistus. Links there. If you are watching live or you're catching one of these on the VODs, then you can catch my entire series on my YouTube channel, which has all of my VODs for all of my series. Satisfactory, Dyson Sphere Program, Factorio, all sorts of building games. It's Trismegistus, but alias to Triggles. If you want to follow me on Twitter, then there's the Twitter address there. I basically post when I'm going live, essentially. That's mostly what I use that for. Discord. If you wanted to join the Discord, everyone's got a Discord, haven't they? But the intention of mine is to use it for multiplayer. What I want to do eventually is either rent a server or possibly use my own PC as a server. And particularly this game, Satisfactory, to run some sort of community gameplay sessions. I say particularly to swap in when all I've got to do in this map is grind belts. So we could do some fun stuff in multiplayer, like make racetracks and all that sort of stuff. Just mess about basically. I think they're going to add the golf. I think that whole thing they did wasn't just a troll. I think that the golf is coming. But yeah, so that's it for me for today. If you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers.